Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with Brad Miur from Double Fine Productions. Patrick Klepek also in the house. Patrick, say hi.
Hello.
Brad, say hi.
Hey, how you guys doing?
And we're here looking at Trench.
And we synced our Wiimotes.
Yes, our Wiimotes are ready to go.
Those jokes are old by now.
That joke won't make any sense when this goes live.
It's not going to make any sense.
Nope, not at all. Trench, new downloadable Xbox Live Arcade title from Double Fine Productions. Brad, this is your baby.
Yes, this is my child, actually.
This is coming out of your body and onto our screen.
Yeah, I'm really excited to have people, check out my baby.
Let's look at your
And
baby.
look at it.
Press start on your baby.
Yeah, let's do it.
We've had several unsuccessful interviews trying to talk about this game up to now.
I think they were fantastic, actually. I enjoyed all of those drunken ramblings with you guys. So this is like the main menu. So if you haven's played the game before, you're going to go through.
It says so right there, main menu.
Yeah, look at that.
I'd say it's exactly the main menu.
Art.
That's awesome. It's like somebody designed that. That's awesome.
They design it or they produce it?
I was both. You got to do both.
Okay.
In video games.
Someone's got to produce the art.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But if you haven't played the game before, when you hit start off the splash screen, you go into the tutorial and we'll set you up and just kind of go through some training and whatever. But after that, every time you come back to the game, you're gonna have the main menu like this, and you see this is the USS McKinley. This is the big. It's like an aircraft carrier with legs that the Mobile Trench Brigade uses.
So is it actually walking in the ocean right now?
No, it's just it's amphibious.
Okay.
So, this is sort of like
because that would be way more absurd if this thing was still like an ocean-bound vehicle, but it just had really, really long legs.
Yeah, it's a very shallow ocean in the world.
What is 1926?
This is something we'll talk about later. This is a regiment update. I want to get into that later.
Okay.
But
so we should have a live player joining us here.
Absolutely. We'll do that in a second.
We could do up to 4 players, but now you're on the McKinley. So this is like the lobby, right?
This is like our multiplayer lobby.
There's your dude.
You can run around on this thing, and we got like 3 main stations, so you can customize your trench here. So this is the trench, and you'll be able to customize that guy. You can go over and talk to Commander Woodruff. So he's the commander of the Mobile Trench Brigade. That's this guy.
He invented the trenches, right?
He did. He invented the mobile trenches. So he and Vlad, the bad guy, both got hit by this weird signal called the broadcast, and it sort of warped their minds a little bit, and they became smarter. So Woodruff, he invented these big, huge mechanical legs that you see on the trenches and made these mobile trenches. But Vlad went crazy and invented television way too soon. Went a little nuts, and he broadcast his hatred for humanity out across his monovision network. And then
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, and then he made electrical bodies for them to carry them around, and he took over the world. So
evil business.
Yeah, so Woodruff had to fight back, so he made the Mobile Trench Brigade and all these, put those mechanical legs to good use. You can see those right there.
Here we are. Let's let's look at your trench, man.
Let's check that shit out. Okay. Oh, can I curse?
Yeah, absolutely.
Encouraged. Yeah. Okay. So we just
PR guy's even nodding, so we're extra good. Usually it's like the kind of the wince. It's like I guess.
No, it's good. So
here we have kind of like a basic trench, right?
Absolutely. So this is like your starting trench.
Yeah.
So this is like a standard trench, which is right in the middle. We have so if we go into the core modification on the chassis, we've got a bunch of different chassis. They break down into like the lighter ones that we call engineering chassis. Let me.
I have to say right off the bat, I really enjoy the names of your chassis.
Yes.
Are those referential to anything in particular?
What? These are all okay. The base one is just the Woodruff because that's like the character, he built it. But the other ones, I just farmed them from awesome last names from people in the office.
Honeychurch.
So these are people actually working in the office.
Someone has a name Honeychurch.
So Fred Stelker, he's a world builder guy on the game. That's this guy. This is one of those light engineering trenches.
Okay.
Zach Carlson, he's our VP of Biz Dev. I
know Zach Carlson.
Yeah,
I played poker with him.
Clint Honeychurch, he actually used to work on Trenched, and then he left Double Fine. But his last name is Honeychurch.
It's too good to
so we're like, we're
gotta pass it around.
Dan McGarry is one of our programmers, did a lot of the networking stuff, and he actually did all the programming for this fantastic menu that we're seeing right here.
Radical.
And Mark Hamer, he did not mainly work on Trenched, but Hamer, that's awesome. It's like Hammer, minus an M.
It's like Hammer that doesn't have time to be a hammer. It's like it's too busy.
Cool for it. Yeah. So you can see like all these, we have like Mark 1, Mark 2, like these are just the straight linear upgrades that you get for each chassis. But each of the different types has a different number of like weapon slots and emplacement slots on it. So if you look at this one, this light one, this Selker chassis, so it's only got 2 weapon slots. So right trigger, left trigger weapons. And you can only put in these single slot weapons, so like the machine guns and the shotguns.
Whereas these bigger weapons require more slots.
A bigger chassis, right?
Got it.
But the advantage of the engineering chassis is that you get the full complement of the D-pad up there on the top.
Okay,
so if we go to modify the emplacements, you've got your D-pad up, down, left, right.
Okay.
And then you've also got access to the beefier emplacements.
This makes sense to me because I've played this game before. But one of the key things in this game is you're not just running around and shooting stuff with your trench, but also setting up kind of a tower defense.
Absolutely.
Emplacements around the map.
Yep, this is like the tower defense part of the game where you're customizing which kind of we call them emplacements, the turrets that you can put on the field. You're just like picking which ones that you want to take with you, and we have.
So on a standard chassis, then you're only having 2 of those, then, or
yeah, and the standard one you get 3, and on the heavy ones you get 2, and on the engineering ones you get 4.
Got it.
Plus the standard ones and the engineering ones get access to the heavy turrets. So if you look at this orange one over here, this is a heavy turret. This is like sniper turrets, mortar turrets, mine layers, like the real beefy weapons that you can put down on the field. We keep those, like we restrict them to the lighter guys. So you kind of get your pick of like, do you want to take the huge weapons into battle, or do you want to take the big turrets into battle?
It also kind of lets you, like, if you don't want to do the tower defensey stuff, if you just want big ass weapons and just want to shoot more.
Exactly.
You have less options, but you can just blow shit up.
Yeah, and that was definitely what I wanted to do. Like, just for people that like shooters more than strategy games, you can go with the big assault trench. If you like strategy games more, you can go with the engineering trench, and then it's more about the turrets. It's definitely balanced so that you can't do it like. You're gonna have to participate in both of those types of gameplay in order to be successful. But it's like you get to pick. You kind of get to pick
which extreme,
where on the spectrum you want to live.
Well, let's pimp this bad boy out.
Okay, let's just pimp it out.
What's your preferred setup
My
here?
My preferred setup, it kind of depends. I actually really like both of them. Like if I was gonna go with a light trench, I'd probably stick with the Selker.
All right.
This is an upgraded Selker. You can see it. It's just. They just get more armor as you go on, like within those sort of makes of chassis.
Okay, sure.
And then I'd put a badass paint job on it. We get some jungle camo on it.
Of course.
Or get some.
Let's go. Let's
go
down.
Like a jet black.
Go down the paint job list. I want to see we don't even necessarily have to apply these, but I want to see what sort of dumb stuff you guys have put in here.
We've just got a bunch of stuff. Don't look at that. That's a secret. That's a secret. I scrolled down too far.
I took you down too far. Sorry about that.
We also have a really awesome golden chrome paint job.
Something classy.
Yeah. And then we also have some really classic World War I patterns. Like you see this lozenge.
This is great.
This is actually like a real thing that they would put on.
Because this makes you look like Metal Gear Ray.
Yeah,
like
and then
this
this
has
one.
That kind of.
This is actually, they used to call this a dazzle camouflage pattern.
What is it even?
They would put this on giant battleships.
Uh-huh.
And it would break up their silhouette and make them hard to see. It's kind of like a zebra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, ridiculous. So then I would go with the hot pants. These are my favorite legs in the game. So all the legs have different abilities. So the hot pants, when you're holding A, you get to sprint, and they create explosions as you're charging through the field.
Fast, and creating explosions sounds useful. But there's also, you've got like treads, you've got 3-legged
yeah, they all have legs. None of them have treads.
Okay.
We've got like bipeds, quadrupeds, and tripods.
Okay.
2, 3, 4 legs, right? So the 2-legged ones can sprint.
No pogos?
No pogos, no. There's no pogos or hovering or anything. We tried to keep it like real thick and chunky.
Greg's thinking for DLC. Single leg. Think about it, dude. I want to cut that if you do that.
So the side, this is like, you see some of these even single slot guns are pretty fucking big. Like Brennicke's Revenge, one of the best shotguns we have in the game.
Who's Brennicke?
Brennicke. I don't know. I have to ask Jeff. Okay. Jeff will be joining us shortly, but yeah, he named a lot of the items with Greg Rice, our producer, and a lot of them have ridiculous and awesome names. So then I would get, I'd probably get a shotgun turret, bring a big heavy flak turret as well. to shoot air guys.
So a lot of offensive stuff. Is there anything that's other than just straight turrets here that we can put out?
So the thing with the Selker chassis, it's got all 4 of its D-pads are light or heavy turrets, right?
Okay.
So the green slots are for light turrets. The orange slots are for heavy turrets.
Got it.
We also have like a support emplacement. So if I switch the core, switch the chassis over to be, say, this Honeychurch one.
Yeah.
So this guy, he's got access to all 4. This is like our other engineering variant that we have. And now this dude has these 2 blue slots here. So D-pad left and right are for supports. So we've got dampening generators, which are like big, slow. They like scramble their circuitry and make them go really slow.
Okay, yeah.
And we've got repair cranes that you can put down to like fix up anybody who stands close to it. And then we've got the impeccable collection pod. So this is a magnet turret.
Oh, does this just?
This is the ICP.
Okay.
I love magnets.
It uses magnets.
Got it.
No one knows how it works.
Is this the?
I was waiting for it.
Is this
I was waiting for that.
The pulling in the.
Yeah. So you can drop these. So when you kill the enemies, a bunch of scrap comes flying out of them, the
Yeah.
TVs, and if one of these magnet turrets is nearby, it'll suck it in and then collect it for you automatically.
The MVs.
The MVs. Oh yes,
They're
that's
not-
true.
they're not-
I know. I try to just use that
Branding.
as shorthand.
Come on.
Yeah,
we
branding.
gotta
You're right.
Stay on message here, man.
So also, like this really highlights the difference, the Honeychurch to the Selker. If you can see those, like the Selker's got a left and right. It's got a single slot in the left and right.
Yeah.
So those map to your left and right triggers.
Okay.
Whereas the Honeychurch, it has 2 slots on the right and nothing on the left. So when you go to customize your weapons, you only have these 2 slots here. So I could put in the same weapons that I had, right? Like I've still got this one, the scythe, this machine gun.
Yeah.
So I could go into this empty slot and put that Brennick's Revenge. Now when I pull the right trigger, they'll both fire.
Okay.
But I also have the option to put in the double slot weapons, the sniper and the grenade launcher. Right?
There's a boggling amount of customization you guys have packed into this crazy
You know
thing.
what? I really hope that people find that to be true, because I certainly do. We did a ton of shit. Our lead artist, Jeff Solis, is a fucking madman, and he just took it upon himself to develop. I made this huge matrix of loot.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the amount of loot I want in the game, and I thought it was ridiculous.
You're like, oh, there's no way we'll actually get this,
and I
and
was
it'll
like,
get pared down to something
yeah,
reasonable.
I was like, yeah, like we might even have to cut down the number of loots and like whatever, maybe like just make it like strict upgrades. We'll have to remove some of the like power curve stuff or whatever. And he's like, yeah, I can do that. He's like, no problem. He's like, just give me some time. I'm like, all right.
Just give me a week.
Pound Town.
This is Pound Town. This is one of the best grenade launchers in the game, Pound Town.
Of course it is.
So yeah, this would be what I want to do. But then you can flip it. We'll go up to the big Carlson chassis.
Oh man, look at that.
Holy shit.
So this is one of the big ass assault chassis in the game, the Carlson.
This is your biz dev guy.
Yeah, this is our big stuff guy. He is a very tall, large man as well. So that was part of it.
Did you get requests like
but
that
it's-
of people like, if you're gonna name the shit after me?
It
like,
better be the fucking big one.
Yeah, it's got to be the cool
No.
one.
Zach is really awesome, and he's a very powerful man in the industry. So this is the most powerful chassis in the game. That was the excuse that I used. So if you see this one, it's got.
This is what you told him.
That's what I told him. It's fine. So it's got 3 slots on both sides. So
Okay.
your right trigger and your left trigger are both triple slot, but it only has access to two emplacement types. Again, the green one's the light, the blue one's the support. So yeah, I would pimp this out with like black. We'll just make it black.
Hard to see.
And then get. I like going with these with some of the tripod legs.
So what do you get the advantage of the tripod? Oh, it's giant goddamn legs.
So the tripod legs can lock down. So you press A, and it will the trench will like squat down and like dig itself in.
Okay.
And then this, you lose the ability to move around until you unlock yourself. But your reload times are cut in half.
Okay.
So when you're going with one of these really big ass trenches, you get a really good spot, kind of turn yourself into a turret on the battlefield, and you're just spitting out a ton of bullets or cannon shots.
It seems like if you're playing multiple people, you could get real specific on what you wanted to do. Like, this
Absolutely.
is my role. Whereas
Right.
if you're playing by yourself, you kind of maybe want to be a little more balanced
Yeah.
with what you can pull off.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. I mean, all the missions really work where if you want to play them by yourself or with other people, like. But yeah, you can definitely focus the team, and this is great. Okay, so here I just threw like 6 machine guns into it. So now they're all linked on the trigger. So these are like This is my right trigger. I've got 3 of those machine guns linked together.
6 machine guns.
And then my left trigger, I've got 3 linked together. But the other thing is that I can, you see this. I have the full range of like all the weapons in the game available to like this big assault chassis. So I can go in and throw one of these huge cannons on, like the King. So the King is. So you can also see the special ability. So you can see the special abilities and the damage and like all the stats on the gun. So this guy.
But it's a 3 slaughter. You need to have.
It's a 3 slaughter. It chews up my entire right trigger. Right. You can see how those 3 slots fuse together.
Can you put on another one of those cannons?
Absolutely, I can. I can put another. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a Mr. Pancakes. We'll talk about that one later. But yeah, I can throw another King on it.
I like.
And then you can just see this guy and like it's kind of awesome to see it from this perspective where you're running around and you.
That is huge.
And then let's see, what else can we do to this guy? We've also got broadcasters.
At some point we have to play this game.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I'm just like.
Can we stack a mech on top of that mech?
Can one of the add-ons just be more legs?
The other thing that we did not get to actually was.
Oh well, obviously we have to do this part.
The hats.
The Marine.
This is actually what I was trying to cut to. Was I need to see the Marine himself.
So this is your trench Marine.
Yeah.
And this is all like pure vanity stuff. Like there's nothing that impacts the gameplay. You can pick your different trench Marine. We have 4 guys. So we'll just grab Frank. Frank is my favorite. It really just determines the dialogue that what your character is going to say and how he sounds and looks in the game.
You guys have been paying attention to Valve here.
Yes, we've actually put a ton of hats and jackets in the game. This is one of my favorite looks. This is a gas mask.
Show me that salute.
Really manly ripped shirt. Just yeah.
Yes.
So you get different salutes based on what?
Yes, and this one is actually a high 5.
Okay.
If you do it right, like you can high 5.
He's not doing sign language.
No. Yeah, every hat has its own salute. I think some of them are shared, but
okay.
Yeah, so like if I put this pith helmet on, I can't even say that word. See, look at that. Some of them are shared because the pith helmet has the exact same one.
Let's see top hat.
Which one did you say? The tiki mask? I think the tiki mask has sort of like a. Greg, what's going on? Have we destroyed? Did we destroy Trenched?
What? There's only one salute in the game?
Oh. All reverted to DLC.
Okay, like the game's not done yet. Like we're gonna look at this. We'll see what happens. This is hilarious. If this one high fives too.
Let's just dig deeper into a hole.
That's
amazing. No, it's okay. I can fix this.
No, that's amazing. Okay, so we'll
So
we'll check that out.
We're stuck on that animation for now. But,
yeah,
it's a good one. It's a great animation.
Yeah.
It's a great animation.
We'll check that out. It's fine.
We're not worried about it. Where's our bro? Do we have a buddy who's gonna be joining us here?
I got a couple bugs.
Oh, yeah, let's go into matchmaking.
A couple bugs that we're working out. So this over here at the radio room.
Yep.
This is like our simple 1-button matchmaking thing. So you go to this, you see the guys there. So you just hit A, and you're like, hey, I want to play with some people.
So you can choose either play with randoms or invite a friend and just go from there.
Yep. And so either they're going to join you or you're going to join them. So Jeff has been searching for a while,
just
and I'm
waiting.
joining him, and he's waiting. See,
he's over there throwing up
the horns.
Maybe this will have fixed our salute
yeah,
problem.
I hope that it did. So you can see this is Jeff right here, DF Man Beef.
Yep.
With 2 Fs. So we can just.
Hey!
Yeah. We'll have to look into that one. We had some saluting problems. But now, so the great thing about this.
So literally no reason other than to like run around like idiots and salute each other constantly. Do you have analog control on that salute, or
you can stop it halfway through,
right? You're just stopping the.
Why? Yes, we do.
Oh my God!
Control. Analogs.
Game of the Year candidate. Game of the Year candidate.
Oh my God!
So I have a secret to confess about saluting. Our lead programmer, Chris Journey, I believe it was his idea, and I was like, "That's the dumbest idea I've ever heard." I said, that is the single worst idea I've ever heard in the history of games. And
you really just browbeat him over it,
and
right?
we're not putting that in the game. And he was like, what are you talking? It's so good. Oh, people love it. And I'm like, no. I'm not wasting time putting saluting technology into this game.
Is there a middleware?
Yeah, there is no middleware. Speed Salute. We looked at Speed Salute. Because we know those guys. Yeah, Speed Tree. They have a lot of things. But Speed Salute was their new one.
Yeah.
They were going to give us a deal. They were going to give us a deal with it, and I was like, no. It's like, I don't want this in the game. And then everybody got really excited. He started telling people about it. Everybody got really fucking excited about saluting. And I was like, how long will it take? How long will it take? And he's like 2 days. I was like, fine, just
do it, get it over with.
Just put it in there. It'll be
so
fine.
You
and then
can
when
see
it's
how
dumb,
shitty it is.
and then when it's dumb, we'll just pull it out. And then the first multiplayer test we had where the ship was working, you know, people are running around doing it, and I was just like, man, I'm retarded. That's the best idea ever. So
I'm so wrong.
So one of the great things about being on the ship,
other than saluting, clearly,
is that you can go inspect your buddy's mechs. So I can actually watch Jeff over here, Mr. DF Manbeef, and I can check out, like, tell him, hey, will you yell at him and tell him to start, like, changing his mech to be Oasis appropriate? It is. Oh, okay, great. I've got some people gonna. So I mean, this is gonna be the best quick look ever, you guys.
Second best. Come on.
Second best.
First one already happened.
First one already knocked it out of the park there.
So like, you know, I can just see like all the different parts that he's using. You know, I can just inspect all these, see which guns he's using, which emplacements he's using, even see like what hat he's wearing and stuff like that. We also support that in the leaderboards, which is kind of badass.
So you can see like if there's someone who's at the top, you're like, all right, this guy's clearly doing something right.
So I can just like see somebody and like inspect their mech and like see what they're doing. You know, #1 guy in the leaderboards, like see what he's wearing, like awesome Rambo bandana, things like that.
So clearly, someone at Double Fine's crunched the math. What's the total number of combinations?
You know, we haven't. We got. I don't know.
There has to be someone at Double Fine that knows
make a
that.
number up. Nobody's gonna check.
We can get back to you.
4 million different trenches.
Wow, that is a lot of combinations.
It's actually billions of combinations.
That's a lot of zeros.
I'm going on record saying billions.
Billions?
Absolutely.
Like Carl Sagan, like
yes.
Billions.
You could make $1 million pyramid out of the combinations we have entrenched.
Tying it back in, it all comes together.
So I'm gonna downgrade my gear a little bit. We're gonna show a mission off.
Okay.
I will take some quadruped legs.
You're being waved at here.
Who's waving at me? Is someone telling me to wrap it up?
No.
Is this a video game?
Yeah, I mean this is it, right?
Jeff is waving at you right now. It's right in your face.
Oh yeah, look at that. I didn't even see that. I like.
He's like, hey,
oh my God.
hey.
Let's play the game. Let's play the video game.
Hey.
So I'm gonna just take. Let's see. I really need a machine gun.
Is that guy punching the machinery over there on the left?
He's shadowboxing. He's shadowboxing up there.
Okay. Because it kind of looks like he's punching that crane.
Yeah.
Fighting the crane.
Been a little bit been at sea for too long.
That or it's not working right and he's had it. He's been trying to get it working all day. Like, just fuck this.
Okay, that's probably good, right, Greg? We're good. We're good. I'll take the engineering guy in.
All right.
I need a better hat for this though. Since we're going into Africa, I'm really gonna get this this desert hat in there.
Oh hell yeah!
Please be
it's
a high
pretty
five.
nice, right?
Please.
This is paper.
Oh, nice.
There's a rock and a scissors in there as well. Okay, so.
But you can only ever play one of those.
Yes.
You can only ever be paper at all times.
Right.
The game falls apart rather quickly.
Say, I don't think you guys know how rock paper scissors works.
Well, you know the guys in the Mobile Trench Brigade, not the smartest, not the sharpest knives in the world.
Okay, so it's like a team's. It's a huddle up. It's a
1, 2, 3 trench.
We did talk about that too. That
Let's
it could
go
just be,
trench.
Put them in the middle. So, okay, when you're finally done saluting and like pimping your mech out.
After you've spent an hour and a half.
How long has this been going?
45 minutes.
Greg's, my producer's trying to get me to.
He's like, go play the goddamn game already.
So here you can talk to Commander Woodruff, and we're gonna show the first mission in Africa. This is the Oasis. So this is the second leg of the campaign. So the other thing is that.
So you may want to bring an automatic.
Please don't shoot him.
The chef wants to make a special welcome to Africa.
So you can listen to Woodruff's mission briefing for you, and then you can also see the green star will represent the building that you have to defend.
Okay.
And then those red monovision clusters, that's where the spawners are and where they'll come from. So this just gives you like a nice little.
Okay.
Like, and you didn't like the salutes.
No, yeah. It's my problem. So, so after this, you can follow this. Once you've selected the mission, you get a countdown.
Okay.
And you can follow this little line over to your trench. Make any last-minute adjustments. There's also recommended gear that you can see at the top. So it tells you to take machine gun turrets, which I have. I have a nice little green check mark. And it tells broadcasters. Now I know that Jeff already has a broadcaster, like we've talked about it. So
You're
I
covered.
don't need to bring one. That's cool. And also those things, like I think it's important to point out that those are not like really hard set in stone. Like we don't have. There are very few things in the game.
There's not like like you're not going to be able to pass this mission.
Right.
But maybe if you're
have
having some trouble with the mission.
Exactly. Yeah. Or if you haven't played the mission yet.
They'll be coming for you. But you must not.
So we have these like campfires at the beginning.
That delicious coconuts for the camp. Don't let the tubes take that away from us.
Okay, so now I've got my right trigger and left trigger. I've got 2 different machine guns here, and then you can see Jeff's big assault trench right there. So this is the building we're defending. This is like a water treatment plant.
All right, so you're engineering, so you've got to be with it with the
absolutely.
the emplacement placing.
I'm a lot faster than Jeff is.
He's got
so
crazy effects flying off of his
I
trench
came up
there.
here. Yeah, that's the broadcaster, that huge radar dish thing.
That's
You can
right.
also see this.
Loot.
That was super lucky that one of the first enemies we killed dropped a loot box. It's totally random.
Yeah.
And that'll contain like a random piece of loot that we get rewarded with at the end of
Watch
the
out!
mission.
You've got some aerial enemies now.
So Woodruff will also give you like commands and like heads up for this is aerial enemies coming down. So I'm gonna get one of these machine gun turrets down. Use the D-pad to select your different emplacements.
Yep.
And then when you hold the left bumper, you get this little like targeting reticle. You can aim where you want to put it. And then when you let go, that will drop it in there.
And it's being shot off of the ship, right?
Yes. The McKinley actually fires in those big, we call them emplacement shells, that come drilling down into the ground and then explode and deploy the turret.
It's the manliest way you could think of to deploy.
Absolutely, just throw it down. So this is you can also upgrade your turrets. So when you get close to them, you just get this really simple Y upgrade interface. So this is Vlad. Vlad's kind of an asshole. So this is the introduction of the knobs. This is the new enemy that you see in the Oasis. So these guys, they attack your turrets specifically.
And use some machine gun turrets to protect your other emplacements.
And so you really want to use rapid fire weapons to take out like these groups of these swarming knobs. Also the broadcaster is really good against them because it's sort of our version of the flamethrower. So if you watch the big sort of like red death beam that thing shoots when Jeff fires it.
Tubes, over there.
So that sound too, I can hear that's the knob sound. So I know that they're gonna be coming down the middle. So I can get another machine gun turret down.
One machine gun emplacement, sir.
And help this one take these guys out. And then again, every time they're dying, you can see the MVs fall out of them. And then I can hold the right bumper to use that magnet to suck it up. Now it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who picks up those monovisions.
You're splitting them even.
You're splitting them even, yeah. So you can see I have 51 right now. It's in the bottom left.
And that number is resetting from mission to mission.
Absolutely. That's not the that resource does not carry over.
Okay.
That's just totally in mission. You do get cash, which you get that for like as a reward for beating missions, and then you use that to buy new gear.
Blitzer's charging.
But when you're inside of a mission for putting down emplacements, it's all about collecting the scrap bits.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was a pro placement right there.
I've played this game a couple times. So as you can see, like I'm not, I do not have the heavy guns here. Like these are level 2 enemies that, so these are sort of like the beefier versions of these Tommies that I'm fighting here.
Yeah.
And yeah, my guns are not super cutting it, but that's why, Jeff is taking this big assault trench in. So he's got like, what did he bring in anyway? He has that broadcaster, and he's got, I don't know what his other weapon is. I think he's got like a huge machine gun up in there. Yeah, he's got just a bunch of machine guns on the left. So this is another one of the enemies that you see near the end of Europe. This is a burst transmitter coming down. So these guys will attack your turrets as well. We sort of color-coded it, so these teal guys, I don't know if you noticed.
Okay, yeah.
The knobs were teal as well.
Yep.
They attack. They'll attack your turrets also. So they're really dangerous. You want to kill them as soon as you can.
So much for you, Tube.
Tell us about your voice actors.
Voice actors, we've got the best person in the industry for voice, Chris Brown. She's awesome, and she's worked with Tim on I think every one of his games.
Oh wow!
And she hooked us up with just amazing voice actors. What? Who's Yoda?
Commander Woodward.
Oh, Tom Kane is the commander, and he did. He was the voice of the Oscars this year.
Oh, really?
So you may recognize him from that.
Some top tier talent.
Yeah, and let's see what.
What? No Nolan North?
No, we did not get Nolan North.
He's the enemies.
We just got him in for a day and just had him scream.
I'm trying to think of the other guys, like Yuri Lowenthal. He's whenever they have to do, they can't get Hugh Jackman, but they need to do Wolverine. He does that. And
so he says
Greg,
he says Bub real good.
Ben 10.
Oh, the guy who does the voice of Ben 10.
And
Loot.
yeah, there's another loot. So that Big Willie, that huge enemy that came out.
Yeah.
He always drops a piece of loot.
Oh yeah, he does.
So that's awesome. We've got another one. So you'll also get some loot pieces for beating a mission, and we have specific loot that will reward you for the very first time they beat a mission, and that's stuff so that we can like kind of gate new weapons and stuff. And you can see Jeff just leveling stuff with that broadcaster.
Does the loot stuff tend to be the rarer weapons, or is it just completely random in terms of what you're getting?
It's completely random. It comes out of like each mission has its own loot
parameters
table under the hood. Yeah, like where we actually I've decided which.
You switched to a different voice when you said that. I decided. That's your designer voice.
It's my game designer voice. Yeah, well, like where we've decided what's in those loot tables, and you'll just get a random pull out of that. So I'm gonna deploy like
you're not gonna all of a sudden get like the ultra weapon on the first level.
Absolutely not. Now you can. All the loot is gated by rank. So as you kill enemies, like you should see. Actually, I don't think because these are fully unlocked profiles, you're not actually seeing the XP pop up when you kill guys because they're already maxed out. But normally you'd be getting XP for all these kills, and then at the end of the mission, you'll be rewarded with that's when you'll rank up and stuff.
So if you're having trouble, could you just go back to some previous missions, kind of grind it out?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that plus you'll get new pulls out of that loot table for the previous mission. Maybe you'll get something better that more fits your playstyle, or like something that's a little more powerful, or you'll just get more cash, and then you'll be able to buy stuff in the shop. The shop unlocks based off of your rank. So like as you go through the game. And level up, that will unlock new items through the shop. So if you are having a hard time, like maybe you fail a couple missions, you'll probably rank up once or twice, and then you can check the shop. You'll have more money. Maybe you can sell some of the stuff that you didn't want, and you'll be able to like. So you can see that that mortar cannon that I deployed over there.
Oh yeah.
And so that'll be able to hit all these guys that are coming around the bend here.
So every time that I've seen this game so far, I would say each of these missions is last, I'd say like 10, 15 minutes maybe. Is that pretty consistent throughout the game?
Yep,
Okay.
It's pretty consistent. It gets a little bit longer as we go later.
Certainly. Makes sense.
So some of the first missions have only like 10 or like a dozen waves, but then as you get, so this is a blitzer. Okay, so the blitzer charges you directly, and you can see my health. So you can see the base is getting hammered by these Tommies. That arc, the rainbow meter over there.
Yeah.
It's actually just green, so it's more just the shape of a rainbow.
The rainbow green meter.
The rainbow green meter is that's
Happy 420, everyone.
That's the, that's the health of the base. I'm gonna get some more some landmines down here. So as guys come around this side, they will run into that. So our landmine is actually a generator, and this is here's a little behind the scenes stuff.
Yeah.
We actually had it where you could deploy a packet of landmines. It would the emplacement shell, you'd deploy it. It would shoot out about 5 landmines, and then that's it. The problem with that is that it's like a one-shot thing. It's actually like a waste of your resources long term.
Right, because it has no value after that initial
Exactly,
round.
yeah. So we played around with a couple of different solutions, but eventually we settled on this landmine generator that stays on the field. You can see this one here, and it kind of maintains a constant field of 3 landmines. You can see it rotating really slowly, and once it gets over to this section, boom, it poops out another one. So now this one's full, but I can upgrade it to 5 landmines and then 7 landmines. And I don't have enough scrap for that, but I could do that. I need 48, and I've only got 42, so I can do that later.
So tell me about death in this game.
Death.
Threat of death for you. I'm not expecting you to take a fall or eat it here, although you do have a bunch of horrible monsters coming down the hill.
Yeah, so these are aerials that we're fighting. Oh, okay, so you can see those knobs just took out that machine gun.
It was only like 2 of them.
Awesome.
That was pretty...
It was probably a little bit damaged before that. But yeah, okay, so death. So my meter when that blitzer smashed into me is, my health is below. It's the flat meter.
Okay.
Underneath, see where it says next wave in 0, like holy shit, here they come.
The bar.
The bar. It's the
Look
bar.
up. Those vault droppers
So
are
when that,
capable droppers.
okay, so this guy, this is a Volt Dropper. This is another one of the mini bosses in the game. So he's gonna fly a path around, and then he kind of takes pot shots at the players, but then he does these big bombing runs on the base. So you want to take him out as fast as you can. So I'm gonna put down this
Gotcha.
this flak turret that shoots flying targets.
Death.
What? Death. I know. Just new things keep happening, Greg. It's just really, just really fucking hard to explain.
He's just trying.
shit while
He's
I'm
trying to
playing.
produce. All right.
Yeah. Look. Okay. So death. When you go down, we handle it a little bit different in single player, multiplayer. In single player, when you go down, so your trench collapses, and
Yeah.
it's not a fail condition at all.
Okay.
You just you kind of collapse, and then you gotta do some like button mashing, some like self repair to get your trench back in the fight.
Okay.
So in multiplayer, we kind of go the more like Gears of War route, where you're out until one of your friends comes by and scoops you up.
Okay.
So in multiplayer, you got to be a little bit more careful, because if everybody goes down, that will be a mission failure.
So is the fail condition in single player just if your base gets destroyed?
Yep. Yeah, because the defense is really the focus of the game, outside of the boss missions that we have, the boss fights.
So I mean, the aesthetic of the trenches is like the inspiration is pretty clear. This, you know, wartime, kind of early mid-century, you know, He-Man tough guy, military vibe.
Yeah.
But what was in the design doc for the aesthetic of the Monovision?
Monovision design doc was basically fucking awesome looking television monster. That you got it.
That was
done.
it.
That's super specific.
You said awesome television monster.
So
give that to the concept artist.
We went through a lot of like variations on them. The earliest ones were more like bundles of wire. So you'll get notified when it's the final wave as well. So this is the final wave. It's usually a little bit longer, and there's like just a lot of enemies that'll come at you during the final wave.
You're gonna get messed up during
Getting
this.
back to it though.
Yeah.
So yeah, the original Monovisions were sort of like these bundles of wires, because it was really like they had like the televisions had animated and they had ripped themselves out of the walls.
Okay.
So they had like bits of like concrete and like sort of
they had been
things.
like regular TVs at some point and then just kind of ran off.
Absolutely. They just
That's
pulled themselves
terrifying.
out. And they had like, but they were, you know, they were sort of like these amorphous masses of like wires and shit, and
Yeah.
they just, I don't know, they weren't as terrifying as you would expect.
So you had this much more alien-looking kind of, you know, insect-inspired.
Yeah. So what we did was,
biomechanical.
you know, we thought that they could, so we killed this big willy,
Yay!
and we get another loot box, which is awesome.
Yay!
So we went to Peter Chan, who is another awesome person who's been like super involved with all of Tim's games. And yeah, we just worked with him, and he's just an amazing concept guy, just coming up with crazy shit. It was his idea to actually. So the early Monovision monsters, they had the Monovisions on the outside of them all the time. So it was Peter's idea to sort of take those and treat them as really precious. Like the Monovision is what's important.
Right.
So it would not, you know, they wouldn't put it out on the outside of it. They would like
protect
you know,
it.
protect it. It's like the heart of the beast, you know. So he was the one that sort of wrapped all this stuff around, and he came up with those almost like jack-o'-lantern type faces that they have. You see it where they can actually like peel back like a banana, and then the Monovisions are in their throats, and so you can see that stuff. Like yeah, it was really his kind of like his design and his idea for the visuals of the enemies and stuff. And then Jeff took that and just fucking ran with it. Like he just made a lot of variations of the originals, kind of like core Peter Chan concepts, and like really developed that look into what you see.
Very cool.
So hey, this is the awesome loot screen.
Sweet. Spoils of War.
Spoils of War. So you got some quadruped legs, which is sweet. So those can smash. I didn't really even get a chance to show that out. So we use a coloring scheme from a little game that you might have heard of called World of Warcraft.
Sure.
I don't know if you. So
I believe Diablo had that same.
It absolutely did.
I'll do a Google search later.
So fat perps.
You got a
so
purple.
these,
Nice.
yeah. So we have like these special. We called it boss loot as we were developing the game, but then we kind of sprinkled it all over the game. It's not just the bosses that drop.
But now it's just boss loot.
It's just boss loot. That's right. It's just really badass. So
This loot is tits.
So this is a Lieutenant Archie. So this is like a flat cannon, like a really high-powered flat cannon that you can put on your guy. That's like a 2-slot weapon. There's an upgraded dampening generator that'll slow him down faster. Slow him down slower, actually.
Slow them
down more.
Fast them up slower?
More slowly. It will slow them in a slow fashion.
Okay.
So here's like an improved flak turret and a new sniper turret. That's brand new for this mission. Grenade launcher. Okay, so once you're through that, you get to see the stats. This is the only part where we actually like show you things that can be compared and mocked, because Trench is a game about love. I keep preaching this. But like, it's all about co-op, and there's no fighting over loot, there's no fighting over scrap. Like, I just want everybody to just hang out.
Have some fun.
High five.
Just hang out.
Just high fives.
But here you at least get to see like your kills and all that stuff. So when you come back to the ship, I want to talk about this for a minute. This is regiment updating. Woo, cash.
Boom, $300.
In 1926 bucks, that's crazy. Who's on the bill there? What is that?
That's a 2-headed baby on the bill.
Oh, okay.
Look at that branding.
Couldn't quite make it out.
So this system, so you get your regiment update and then your personal update.
What is the regiment?
So personal update. I'll get there.
Okay, sorry.
I'll get there.
I thought that was my segue.
I'll get there. No, the personal update is just your stats. So you can see, like, I got a bunch of machine gun kills that round, and I completed this challenge for the amount of scrap that I've collected.
What happens when you hit these levels?
When you level up, you get prizes. Like, I just got a wad of cash for leveling that one up.
Got it.
So it's very, as you can see, there's
that
Jeff,
is an amazing outfit.
Oh
my God.
As we get onto the ship.
I just want to own that.
Brad, I think we have to wrap this up. This has been a epic quick look here at
This is
at
fantastic.
Trench. I know.
It also, it's
just been a look.
Yeah.
It makes me feel really awesome when we just have like a huge fucking feature list to describe to you guys.
I don't
and
like what he's doing with his
game.
hand over there.
It's disturbing. Let's just touch him a little bit.
So you're having to hold the trigger just ever so much to get it out, to have the hands sticking straight out.
Do some of this.
Oh, we have to. We now have to end this.
Oh God!
We now have to end this.
What did that happen?
You're gonna get an M rating.
Yeah, you guys are still in for submission as of
do
this
not show the
recording.
ESRB this video.
Everybody.
This isn't on the DVD that you sent, right? All right. Brad, thank you so much for showing. I feel like we've gotten to see a lot of stuff here about Trench that we haven't seen before, that we've talked about, but seen the customization, seen hats, seen salutes, seen just we've seen Africa for the first time, the regiments, all this cool stuff.
I don't even think I explained that shit.
We know you didn't even explain the
Yeah,
regiments.
I didn't even explain it.
I
But
was all regiments, you're all not yet.
So when you
last thing, regiments. What's up?
Last thing, regiments. Why did I just go to the achievements?
Oh my God! What's
so
going on?
You can see all of these are all the regiment challenges and the reward, like when you do that. So the regiments, there's a bunch of people in your regiment. So these are the people that you've completed missions with. So all these people on this regiment list, those are the guys that I've completed a mission successfully with over the internet. So
this isn't even necessarily like you could be playing against randoms and they will become part of your regiment.
They will automatically join your regiment. It's maximum. It's the 10 most recent people that you've played with, and then it's actually this like asynchronous way of tracking their stats. So if they play a bunch while you're offline, and then you come back in, you come back to the ship, boom, any stats that they've acquired will just dump into your regiment stats, and then you can work towards those rewards just by playing, helping guys out again.
Having fun with Trench.
It's about love. It's about love.
Fantastic.
So yeah, if you play with people,
it's the war game about love.
If you play with people, and then and then it also gives you kind of an incentive to play when they're not online, because the next time they're going to show up, they're going to get a big boost to their regiment stats, and they'll unlock a bunch of cool shit in the game.
What happens if, like, one of the guys?
Jesus.
What happens if one of the guys that was in your regiment gets pushed out of your 10 most recent played, and he was a big contributor? It doesn't roll back, right?
No, it does not roll back.
Okay.
You get to keep any of those.
You
get to keep any of those stat boosts that you get.
Sweet. So Trench Double Fine Productions, 2011.
2011
is when it's coming out.
It'll be out this year.
It'll be out
this summer. You know, we just make the game. We just make the game, and Microsoft.
And we don't know what we're gonna do with it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna come out sometime.
First week of Summer of Arcade. Look for it.
I did not say that.
I said that.
You said
Ryan
that.
Davis from GiantBomb.com. No, we don't have a date for this yet, but if you're watching this, we have a date now.
We have a date. You and I, Ryan Davis.
Yeah,
we have a date.
We do indeed.
Guys,
the
the
trench.
salutes.
Thank you so much for all of you guys for coming over here and hanging out and giving us this deep dive look at Trench. It's looking like a lot of fun and
This has been awesome, man.
Wasting so much of everyone's time.
Afternoon, well
Just
spent.
completely gone.
Well, thanks for having
That's
us,
Trench.
man.
Patrick,
Anytime.
also thank you for sitting with us. Trench from Don't Fight Productions.
Drenched!
Nice. Nice. Is it over now?
Make sure and
It's awesome.
make,
Yeah? No. Do you need some dead air? In order to...
They won't stop until you stop talking.
Bye, Trenched.